Hey. Finally, bro.
Finally we are here. It's been a journey.
Tumesumbua IG. Tumesumbua kila social media. Tumechokoza. Tumeambia podcast inakuja. Na ndo hii imefika. Manze, we are grateful. I'm happy to finally start this thing.
Likewise.
You know, one thing about us creatives, we are masters of procrastination. Masters of procrastination. And we usually say, I'll start this. But getting to this place, you see something has started.
Yeah.
Manze,
it's been a journey.
Yeah. It's been a journey. We've planned this thing. We've talked about it. And manze, God may make it possible.
Kabisa.
And we are grateful to finally have this platform where we can have these amazing conversations.
Kabisa.
And what will these amazing conversations be about?
Kwanza ungesema bottom.
Yeah. So manze, as you see in the title, as you see in the Kidogo branding we've done, this is the Only Ways Up podcast. It's a podcast about creatives. It's a podcast about growth. It's a podcast about the journey that it is to develop as a person, and especially in our context as a creator. And we believe this is the time where everyone is becoming a creator, bro. I don't know kama umechekizo TikTok za madoki, za farmers. Literally now everyone is a creator.
He's a creator.
Literally, we are all creators, you know. And I think we are living up to what even as Christians we see in scripture, that we are images of God, made in his likeness, and co-creators with him. You know, I think we are really in that age in its fullness that's really appearing, and where that word creator is being thrown out more and more, and people are embracing it. And I think it's a conversation we've once had about how the age, you know, when social media was starting, there was the age of the influencers, and they're still there. We call these people influencers, but in real sense, it's an age of creators. It's an age where everyone is getting into this space. Everyone is able to create their content through these devices. Everyone is consuming content every day. We are using content to market products, and forgive the background noise if you guys hear it. Into predicaments of shooting in the streets, in the ghettos
of Nairobi.
So bana, I hope Mungu atafungulia huyo atume mtu afungulie huyo mtu wa gari tafadhali. As much as we need some ambient sound, hiyo yake tunashukuru for it, tumeisikia enough. But literally it's going to be a platform where we'll talk about the journey of growth. And even on this first episode, I'm looking forward to people hearing about your journey.
It's a long one.
It's a long one, man. I think I'll try attempt. I'll try attempt and give the best introduction I can for you as a creator. And I love to hear the introduction you give me as a creator.
Kwanza, before we even handle that, you remember that we, even in this platform, will try as much as possible to talk about other people's journey, and also tackle, you know, not only in Kenya but also in Africa, and
for sure
to the rest of the world if we can.
You
know, talk about their journey, how they started. They also talk about the different platforms and what you can get out of it, and you know, the many things that are in the economy and the things that are contributing to where we are currently, even as human beings, and as creators.
I don't know if you heard of that survey that was going around social media, that currently 75% of Gen Z, of this young children that are coming up, teenagers, 75% of them want to be creators on these platforms, you know. And it's exciting times. It's exciting times for people to hop on these platforms. I don't know if something we should put on in the video. If you're listening to this on Google Podcast, Spotify, and all these amazing podcast platforms, check out our YouTube channel. We have as well. It's a video podcast. You get to see these handsome men.
Yes.
Who are disturbing the peace.
Mimi, I'm enjoying that title because I'm still single.
You know one thing, guys, Yani, this guy is one of the best life hackers that I've ever met. Even if you are to see our set coming soon, it's all a hacking. We've hacked this stand. We've hacked where the mixer is. Yani, it's all a hack, and thanks to this brilliant mind. But one thing, bro, hujeza kuhack ni kupata mtu. Yeah.
Hiyo sijui kama inahitaji hack.
Yani umeweza kuhack. Yani, you know, you taught me how to retouch. You taught me almost everything I know about editing video and photos. But bana, hiyo kitu tafadhali, I hope this platform will help you.
Unajua maybe labda wewe ndio una fail
as a friend.
Nimekufunza wewe, kuna pali unaangalia kabisa ni na struggle.
Let me tell you, bro, yani that ends today. It ends today. From today, masterclass. How to find the one.
Guys, now if you want to ask me anything about that, you know who to ask.
Let me tell you, bro. I am dedicating my life to that cause. And keep me accountable, guys. Tafadhali, slide in the DMs and the emails. But yeah, today our conversation is about the genesis. That manze, we've started from the bottom.
Kabisa.
And where are we heading?
To the top.
To the top.
Only way is up.
And the only way is up. And that's a beauty about being at the bottom.
Kabisa. So I know there's a lot to talk about when it comes to Ian. First of all, let me just say
wa Kenya, tafadhali, and Africans and all the people watching and listening this.
Ata sijanza. Let me just say, first of all, if you know Ian, you know that he's one of, for me, the way I know Ian, he's one of the most, as I said, networked guy, if there's a word like that, most networked guy.
Let me act
I know.
humble.
He actually, I think I can even say most of the jobs I have right now is because of your networks. That's a very
strong statement. You've never played with the M-Pesa. Tafadhali, bro.
But Ian is one of the most networked person I know. He is also one of the most humble person. You know, despite the fact that he has all this networks and all this.
You're spoiling my humility, brother.
All these networks and all these people that he knows and all these jobs. Before I became very busy, Ian was very busy.
Hey, man.
And he was.
And nowadays, I'm just begging you for one job, bro. One job.
As I continue with the introduction, with Ian's introduction, if you also know Ian, you know that he is one guy who's really very, very passionate about the creators. Let me say the creators economy, and one person who is really passionate about putting stories out there and inspiring people and working with different people and challenging people to, you know, become better versions of themselves and even growing as creators. And that's probably one of the reasons why we are here today.
For sure.
Yeah, Ian, tell us about your story.
Hey, bro, man. First of all, let me say, I think as a creative and even just as a human being, one of the best things that ever happened to me was our friendship, bana. We met in the streets of Daysters. Hizo days, bana. I thought I was balling. You know? There's nothing as someone in campus and they're making few coins. Let me tell you, they can't touch you. No one can touch you.
You can't be touched.
You can't be touched.
Yeah.
So I was walking in the street of Daystar, like the millionaire I saw myself as.
But that's true. The way he was walking, you obviously knew that this guy was loaded.
But it was just a few coins, to be honest. And I met you, and I think I can't remember how that conversation happened, but I remember you were with Frank when we just started talking about our industry and just talking about what we do, and how I was just as well starting off as a photographer. But I think with that video people have seen, literally for you, I think you're a veteran, bro. By the time we were meeting, you were a veteran. I thought we are starting together. Come in real sense.
Wait, have they seen the video?
I think they have. They haven't. If they haven't, you are seeing.
This is Koech, and this is my homemade camera crane. The cheapest camera crane I have ever come across. Let me show you how this works. This is my camera, and this is a bicycle pedal, and this is a chain that connects to the other side, and this is a timber, and this timber is connected to two other timbers on this side, and this timber is connected to a stand for a speaker that can rotate easily, although I've done some few magic here. And then these are my weights. They help me not to use a lot of energy in lifting the crane. And this is a screwdriver that's connected on the other side. And let me show you how this goes round easily. I can lift my camera and change its angle. It can face up or it can face down.
And I think you've seen it. So bana, it was quite encouraging to get to meet someone who's as well starting off, someone who's new in the industry. And let me tell you, this guy was so elated. Alikuwa meet breakthrough. I think that our brothers wale wa kiroho wanaitanga destiny helpers.
I saw Ian and he just mentioned a few names. Nikasema, God, I'm hanging on to this.
Let me tell you, when you're starting off as a young creative, I think that's how you get excited with exposure. Because hani wase umechiki kwa TV, yani unajua kuna kitu kama kusema
waambie tu majina ndio so that you understand why I was being surprised.
Let me tell you, so I think that conversation of that day, we were talking about I was telling you how I was from shooting an event Samidi's family, and
I was like,
for the Kenyans who don't know Samidi, that is a guy, I think he's a CEO of Rembo TV. He's one of the top directors, filmmakers. He's done music videos. He's done advertisements. I think he's one of the few Kenyans who own a warehouse, a go down. And I think wale watu wanaitanga gatekeepers, but they're not gatekeepers. But those are the people who are really the bazoos, as Kenyans will call them, of the industry. So I was shooting this event, and the weirdest thing, let me tell you, a short story. Let me try make it as short as possible. There was this event that was happening in Arboretum. It was called Worship in the Wild. And it was, I think, a free event. So I was just a new photographer, nikasema, because I enjoy events and I was trying my hand in event photography. Let me go to this event in Arboretum, take some photos and see how this goes. I didn't go with a lot of expectation, if any. I just wanted to go back home with my camera. You know how in Nairobi, if you step out with equipment, your greatest hope is to come back with them. You know, for people who probably haven't visited Nairobi and they're listening to this, don't fear.
Don't be afraid.
It's fairly safe if you just stay woke. Stay just aware and alert. Kabisa. So went to this event. There were some few famous people in that circle, in the gospel circle, if I may call it so. Then there was this lady who was just coming up in the music industry. Her name is Carrera Laura. If you're watching or listening this, Carrera, I don't know, I've never told you that story, but I think you are my destiny help. Though I don't believe in that term. But yeah, it was just an amazing thing to get to see her and meet her. And let me tell you, I was dedicated to taking the best photos of that event. And fortunately I did. Then as we were leaving the event, there was a mutual friend. Her name is Samantha. And we are mentioning names to shout out these people. Samantha, big up yourself. So Samantha, I think, were friends with Carrera. So Carrera gave us a lift. And I told her I'm a photographer, nini. She took my number. Then, I have said then so many times. I think because it's a sequence of event. After that, few weeks later or days later, I can't remember, but she called me and told me I'm doing a music video, and I'd love for you to come and take the behind the scenes. And let me tell you, I'm like, you know what? I'll be there. At a school is a story I do. They ask about money, the payment, or just I'm enjoying doing this. If anything, let me just go for the experience. And I did that. And I think that goes to tell any creative, as you're starting off, experience is mandatory. I think that's a conversation we'll have in another podcast. But yeah, went to this, and that's how I met Samidi. He was the music director for Carrera's video. And let me tell you, he loved my photos, and that's why he invited me now to his family event. His family event, who do I meet? Kina Terence Creative, his wife
Creative. Alikuanga na exist hiyo time.
Alikuwa na exist hiyo time. Alikuanga, I think he had a footing in Laugh industry. The people behind Churchill. He's a brilliant guy. My sister worked with him. And I met him and the wife. They were doing the deco. They had, I think, an event company. I met Carrera in that event. I met Size 8. And let me tell you, I took a photo of Size 8's child then, and I think her name is Ladasha, if I'm not wrong. Ladasha. Let me tell you, that photo really blew up. Wow, I think that was my first taste of going viral. It blew up. It had over 500 likes, and I wasn't used to those amount of likes as I was starting. I was at 20, 30, if I get high 70. Then it just blew up. You know, it was a farming kabisa. So the event went well.
So you're mentioning to me such names. We are in the streets of Daystar.
In the streets of Daystar.
He's mentioning names like Samidi.
Imagine.
I'm
showing you my Instagram.
And then photos. I remember nikiangalia Instagram and I'm like, who is this?
My brother was fascinated.
What are you doing in Daystar?
I think for some context, let me tell them. My brother is an amazing creative, born and raised for a long time in Kericho. Deep Kericho. Yani, you bleed tea. You know,
Kabisa.
You know trend ya Instagram saini ya TikTok ni gani? Have you seen it? So wewe kwanza unafai kufanya hivyo, but sasa useme tea in my veins, not coldness in my veins. So I think when I was meeting you, you're just come out of Kericho, a few years in Nairobi. You had gone to JKUAT. You did Comp Science,
mathematics and computer.
For real, bro?
Yeah.
I didn't know even about that.
You did not know about mathematics?
I didn't know about mathematics.
The mathematics part ndio was it was a thorough beating.
Hey, apologies.
Wachana na computer. Computer was sweet.
Yeah.
The mathematics.
It turned you around it. It did you that thing.
Yeah. And we found ourselves in this.
Man. Yeah. So that's interesting. So when I was meeting you, you were just starting off as a photographer.
Yeah.
I think you were working with Expava by then.
Yeah.
And you are a good photographer. And I think that's one thing I saw about you then is you are so quick to learn things.
Yeah.
And you are one guy till date. You know how to make most of the small things you have.
Yeah.
Literally, I think you can make a dope music video with a phone. And I look forward to see that one day, Bana.
I will do that.
I look
soon and very soon. Since he has mentioned,
it's happening,
it's
guys.
Happening.
As well, keep him accountable with that.
Yeah.
So, I met you. We had that conversation. Friendships, ika strike. And even too, when you meet, hey, how you doing? Hey, how's things going? And I think that's how our friendship started.
Yeah.
For me as a creative, my journey now to becoming a photographer, videographer, a creative in general, is I loved drawing. When I was finishing high school, I was telling you of how in high school there's usually the sequence of events is like this. Unaingia high school form 1, and the first year of high school you want to become a surgeon. Excited. Hey. Then you find a biology. It does you that thing. Then you're like, surgeon is too ambitious. Let me become a doctor. See, I'm helping people. Let me become a doctor. You become a doctor. Biology turns you around. Then now chemistry comes. Does you that thing.
By the time you're in form 3.
You want to become a nurse. Nurse are amazing people. It's marketable. I think it's one of the most marketable careers personally.
Kwanza outside of Kenya, like in the States.
Nurses are just flying out. And big up all the nurses who are listening and watching this. So you want to become a nurse. Life does you that thing again. When you hit form 4, you want to become a patient. That was my story. You know, I was starting off ambitiously. Then you unaenda tu reduce. You're going just you stepping on the brakes.
Yours ilikuwa unataka kuwa surgeon.
I wanted to be a judge, I think, when I was starting high school. Just imagine. Yani, I don't know why. Probably I can't remember why, but I wanted to become a judge. I wanted to become many things like many young people wanted to be, but one thing I knew, I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be successful at something. So as in high school, I was very good at music. I had a friend who was a DJ. He taught me some few things about DJing. Started a DJing group. It's a famous DJing group. So I think it's called Houseic. It was there, still there. I want to shout out my brother DJ Taj. He's still an amazing DJ doing amazing work. We started off doing gigs za DJing. So I think that's where slowly, without knowing, I fell in love with entertainment and just the whole industry of entertainment, audio and visuals. So stepping out of high school, I wanted to become a designer. I loved design. Till date, I ran a design agency, a creative agency that predominantly we do design. So I went off to Shangtao. Expectation, it's a design school.
That's where your journey. That's
where my journey began. I think
in the creative economy.
Shangtao sponsor me to become an ambassador. I'm ready to preach the gospel of Shangtao. So I went to Shangtao. It was a certificate. So I chose doing something else apart from computer, because many young people when they finish high school they go out to do computer, but me nilikuwa nishafanya computer in high school, so I had no use of doing computer again. So stepped into this entire universe of now animation and multimedia. Imagine our assignments for especially our editing class. Our assignment unajua ilikuwa nini? Editing a Breaking Bad trailer. That was our final assignment.
That was your final assignment?
Hiyo ilikuwa exam. There was no paper ati nini all, and that's one thing.
That school was so practical.
If we were to mention
other schools that some of us studied
I think they need to do better. People know them, you know. So that's one thing I really appreciate about Shangtao. Then we really got to learn a lot of practical things about multimedia and animation. And that's how my journey began. We had a class of camera and lighting, fell in love with it kabisa. We had this amazing space. I think people who are in Shangtao can let us know. It was called a think tank. And the think tank was just revolutionary to me, because it had these computers which were filled with tutorials about everything to do with cameras, film, editing, lighting, all these things. And Ian Kanyi spends hours, and I could miss a class because of the think tank. I could miss a class because of the think tank, because I was just learning and feeding myself. Started researching about cameras. I think my love now went to photography and videography. It didn't even go to animation.
But animation was what you wanted to do at first? It was
graphics design was what I wanted to do. Then animation ikanibamba, music production ikanibamba. But now I ended up in photography and videography. Because I think it's easier to start off as a photographer, videographer. Starting off as an animator is hard. Let me say that. I appreciate all my people who do animation. One of my partners in Atom Visuals, his name is Adol. He's one of the best animators I've met in my life. He's really good. And that guy puts in the hours to be the animator he is today. So animation is hard, bro. That's
it's work.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I think that's why they charge a premium. If you see quotations animation, like, ooh, you know. It's a premium kabisa. But
maybe one of these episodes we're going to invite one, like some animator.
I would love to talk to Sanare. I love to talk to a lovely lady called Nash Omai. Even she was in Daystar. I don't know if you remember her, but Nash. She's a dope illustrator, animator. So I'm sure she'll
guys
give
like
us some
Fat Boy
animations. Big up Fat Boy. I think he put animation in the map in Kenya.
Kabisa.
And I think those are people hopefully will be analyzing what they did to the creative industry. Because they really expanded the creative economy in Kenya. Because they're like, oh, animation can become a thing.
Something big that can even be taken to TV.
And now you see how we have schools like ADMI, Talanta Institute, and so many other schools popping up, and animation is one of the courses they offer. It's become marketable every day with the industry growing. So that's my story, bro. And that's how I'm the creative I am today. The journey has been a long one. I think we'll talk about it as the journey of this podcast continues. But I just love people to get to hear a little bit about where you at right now, and what are you doing as a creative, and what are you looking to do as a creative.
Okay. I'm not sure if I talked about my journey, but
give us a story. Apa, Tafteni kachai, a cup of coffee.
Hey, on
this
my side,
a good one.
It was a long one. I will also mention some names. Some guys who I still look up to till to date. First of all, I started in the music industry, and mostly as a performer, like pianist, guitarist, and singer. And after, I think when I got to Nairobi, when I got to JKUAT, where I was studying mathematics and computer science, life just did this shook us a bit.
Hey,
and then we decided to make some changes. Yeah, so in JKUAT life was hard.
Juja Boys.
Juja Boys.
Then it was Juja Boys. I think
Boys.
nowadays JKUAT has improved.
Yeah.
Largely.
It's really, really improved. Then we had only like, I think, 4 or 6 girls
I think your struggles ya kutafuta mtu ilianza
hapo.
Kama ungeanza maisha kama Daystar kama sisi. Where the population is 80% women.
You know, Daystar, we used to get enough attention. Adi, I'm like...
Let me tell you, Daystar, in a class, I think most classes were like 2-3 guys, especially these PR classes I was doing.
Yeah.
The ladies were like full, you know.
Yeah, so I think struggle zangu za
zilianza huko tafadhali.
But anyway, tukafanya hiyo shift. And then I found myself in Daystar University, and I think the main reason why I went to Daystar is because Daystar was always that big name when it comes to media and production and TV and all that. And I just knew I wanted to be in this space, but I did not know where exactly I wanted to be. So when I got to Daystar is when now I started realizing that probably what I'm even studying in Daystar is not what I want to become, because in Daystar, trust me, you will be taught how to be a good presenter, news presenter, and a lot about TV and a lot about production. But me on this other side, I wanted to do film. I wanted to do video production, like high-end video production, photography. I know there's a photography class in Daystar, but...
Do you think there's a school that 4 or 5 years ago you'll have gone that teaches that?
I don't know. But you know the challenge was my parents just wanted to
Daystar.
see me holding that degree. So I had to fulfill my parents.
Make it happen.
I had to make that happen. Yeah. So for
and
me,
your
now
dad was a creative.
Yeah, my dad was...
He never had an influence with you, just tell you, man, go pursue music, because I know you're good in music, like go become a musician. Or what was the thought about you pursuing a degree and you're a creative? He never...
I think he having been in the creative industry, he knew the challenges that were there.
Okay.
And he knew what I was going to experience. And actually the thing that he kept telling me that is that you need to know what is happening in the industry, because you see when he was in Kericho, Kericho is such a small town, and it's such a small...
Can you just pause there and tell people who your dad produced?
I think he even curtain raised for Kina Emikosgei for when Emikosgei was starting.
A round of applause for Baba Koech.
I will not say his name, but
big up, sir.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
For those who are Kalenjins and want to know my dad, I'll just share. You can DM one of us and we'll send you one of the names here. But yeah, he was a big name in Kericho, especially when it comes to production.
Wow.
One of his songs that he produced actually won Groove Awards in Rift Valley. Some of these things,
amazing.
Yeah. And we're just sitting with you here as our dad, and you're producing such, and that's
greatness.
Yeah, those are some of the foundations that,
explains a lot, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So now growing up, looking at all that now, and then shifting to Daystar, what my dad was so keen about was that I get to understand exactly the whole sphere of music. At first he thought that I was going to pursue music, but then my passion for film and for storytelling and for impacting people through visual, especially the visual side, captured me more. And that's where I actually now even in Daystar, I started now getting to learn about photography. And while I was learning about photography, now that was the rise of people like Ben Kiruthi,
that
the
guy,
many,
man.
yeah,
Wow.
the many other
Ben
photographers.
Kiruthi, if you ever see or hear this, please,
Yeah.
we'd love to have a conversation with you.
Yeah,
bro.
one of these fine days.
You know, I went as a young photographer. Sorry for interrupting.
No worries.
I went to his business masterclass class for, it was called the Business of Photography, hosted by PAK. PAK, for those who don't know, is Photography Association of Kenya. It was at Power 254. Let me tell you, I met Thandiwe Muriu. Those guys in the social media space who know Thandiwe, they know she's a big deal.
She's a big deal.
She's a big
Not
deal.
only in Kenya.
And you know what, bro?
Yeah.
I sat next to her.
Hey. You see why I told you you keep mentioning names.
Round of applause for me. Yeah. Amazing. So it was life changing. So
such names. So I would hear. In fact, let me just tell you, people like those that you're mentioning. I don't know where Thandiwe was in 2014, but I know she was a big name. Yeah, Thandiwe,
Mutua
Madheka, Ben Kiruthi.
Yeah.
The other guys like Victor Peace was such a
Muav.
big. Yeah?
Muav, you remember?
Yeah, I remember
Mwangi
Muav. Yeah.
I think they had a group here, photographers, walikuwa naitwa one Kenya, one or something. They did a trip to South Africa. You remember how it was a big deal?
Yeah, I remember that.
That entire crew. And let me tell you, what did that do for you as a photographer?
That was inspiring.
It was so inspiring.
I remember them driving down were they going with Subarus?
With Moab's Subarus.
Yeah.
The famous red Subaru, I think.
Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, if I ever get to such a place where this is all I'm doing and I'm driving down to...
Imagine to AC. Taking photos with your crew.
Yeah.
The dream. The dream.
So some of those things that I looked at and people that I noticed in the industry, and that was I don't know if that was the time when Young Rich was starting, but it was almost around the same time. Big up Eugene Bugwa. Yeah, Eugene Bugwa. Most of those guys, I looked at them and I was just like, if only I could, get to where these guys are. Yeah, and now that gave me like so much passion. And some of these people, they don't know that they're inspiring so many other people. I think Ben Kiruthi might be sitting down and they're like, what is life
he's
about?
Influenced generations.
He has changed so many people's lives.
He changed the game. Yani you could quote for a gig, yani 100 200 G's. Because alikuwa ameraise a bar.
Some of those people just helped us push so many barriers in the industry that right now maybe hatungekuwa where we are,
for sure,
if it was not for some of these names.
Kabisa.
So when I had such people, and I was just like, one day I want to be like these people. I want to be in this space. I want to be like, if I'm a full-time photographer, I'm a full-time photographer. If I'm a full-time filmmaker, I'm a full-time filmmaker. I want to be a creator and just do this full-time and do it until it feeds my family. So it was such a long journey. It was such a tough journey starting. I remember the first time getting our first camera. It took a loan to get that first camera.
Let me tell you, that camera is a legend. You still have it?
I think it's still there. It's not, so I'll be trying to sell it.
I think in one of the episodes we'll play some of the videos you did with that camera. And let me tell you, I couldn't believe it's the D7000 because I had that camera. I'm like, this camera can do such a good job with video. Because when you have a Nikon, for the Nikonites, Nikon is a beast of photos. But video, bro, you took that camera to the limits.
I pushed the camera. I got different lenses and made sure that clients knew that this is the camera that will give them the best of the best.
I think you did a job for Jumia hotels around the country with that camera.
We traveled to, I think, 5 or 6 counties shooting with just that one camera, D7000.
Let me tell you guys, having a D7000 in the video game is like having a Techno or an Infinix.
Yeah.
In the smartphone game.
In the smartphone game.
Yeah, it's
and
like
it still did, and I pushed it.
And you did justice.
Yeah.
You did justice.
That's the camera. I remember when we were having a conversation with Ian.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that's the first camera he got, and I was like, you also have a D7000.
Yeah.
And I saw your photos, and I was like,
it was a moment of connection.
Yeah.
Like the D7000 family.
Yeah, this D7, we should change them. But
yeah,
I remember looking at that camera, like, and looking at your photos on Instagram, and I was like, you shot this with the same camera I'm using.
Imagine.
Yeah, and I was blown away. So the journey through getting that D7000 to buying lights, to starting up a company with a friend, which is Expava. Big up yourself, Dennis.
Hey, the
legend.
Entrepreneur extraordinaire. Hey bana,
Story yake siku moja.
lazima we have him on the podcast, man. He's as well someone who started with nothing.
Yeah.
And he's built a business that's going to
big business.
And impact the continent in terms, because he empowers creatives. With his tools.
Kabisa.
Yeah.
Some of these machines that we have, we will bring them. We show you how it is helping.
Kabisa.
Yeah. So we started with Dennis, and then after that, slowly by slowly, we were just getting one deals here and there. I remember the first time that we actually got a call from one network that we had to do a job for Microsoft.
I remember that job.
You know, like,
I was mtu wa mkono. Imagine.
Yeah. Microsoft. Imagine.
Such an honor.
And the weird thing is not even Microsoft. It was not Microsoft Kenya.
Yeah.
It was Microsoft South Africa.
I think so that they know how big of a job that was in your career.
Yeah.
We had to hire other cameras. We couldn't even trust D7000 with that
for
job.
That job. We're just like, today,
this one,
D7000,
you're going to rest.
We're going to rest. We're going to bring in another.
The big boys.
Yeah, the big boys in the industry to come and do this job. So when we got that job, I remember first we did not even know how to quote.
Imagine, yani.
How do you quote for such a company when all you've been dealing with?
See wabaya, we thank you.
Know, we'll tell you how we developed that. Should I tell them?
That's another episode. So all the goodness.
Yeah. But when we got that job, we inquired here and there, because when you underquote,
you can lose a job.
You lose a job.
Yeah.
When you overquote, they can give you the job, but you will appear too expensive and you will also lose the job.
Yeah.
So when we got that job, that really changed our portfolio and also pushed us very far in the industry. So most of the time you would appear, you would go to meetings when you just show people that you did this job for Microsoft.
Yeah.
They're like, you're the one who did this job. You are the one who did this job.
I think we still use that video till
we still use the video till today.
Gigs.
Yeah, because we had a very expensive camera. Yeah, but now looking at that journey and looking at where we are currently, I can say I think it's been a long journey.
It's been a long journey, and imagine it's just beginning.
Yeah.
It's just beginning.
Yeah, it's just a beginning.
It's just a start.
Yeah.
We're still in the early days.
We are still
in our 20s.
Yeah.
We're still, we still have a lot to do.
Yeah.
We have a lot of spaces to get into.
Yeah.
We haven't made it in any way.
Yeah.
God has been kind and faithful.
Yeah.
It's been a huge growth from where we are started.
Totally.
And I think that's a message of what we are pushing here, that the only, the beauty of starting from the bottom is that the only way is up.
The only way is up, yeah.
And just trust the process.
Yeah.
I think that's a message we can tell our listeners and our audience watching this. Trust the process. There's nothing that comes easily. Still nothing has been easy for us till date.
Till date.
If it was easy, this podcast would have been started 2 years ago, if not earlier.
All this equipment would have been bought 2 years ago.
2 years ago, but it's taken time. It's taken time, and it's just taken the masses of God to be here, and that's one thing we're grateful for, kabisa. And we hope this is a journey we'll walk together. You know what, bro? I have a crazy dream. I think we can get to 100k subscribers by the end of the year.
That's a big dream.
It's a big dream.
And only you who's watching
can make it possible.
Can make it happen.
Imagine. You who's watching can make it possible. Share. Hope you enjoy the content. We are striving to make the quality as enjoyable as possible to your ears. Forgive us for the ambient sounds you've heard. Don't worry. Once the money's pour in, studio pump.
We're going to make a dedicated studio.
But for a start, bro, this is amazing.
This is amazing.
For a start, this is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story with the world. I've enjoyed listening. That mathematics did you proper. I think that's a lesson. If you are creative, hire an accountant. That's a takeaway.
Stay away from
Hesabu. Hire accountant. Hire accountant. Because let me tell you, when we'll have an episode talk about not the money, the budgeting, the quotations, the invoicing, I think that's where we struggle as creatives. That's why it gets hard. And that's why we are grateful for the people who've mentored us, people who've shown us the way. Akina Otis. Bana, those big are names. The legends.
Big names. I don't know if you'll know them, but very big names.
Very big. I usually tell people, the people who are doing big things in the industry, especially in the creative industry in Kenya, they're not famous.
Some of them you will not even know them.
Like, I don't know if you know these guys who are Studio 77. I think that's their name. The owner, he's called Steven, if I'm not wrong. He's one guy I love us to talk about, because those are the people who do all this amazing ads. Studio 77, they do amazing ads. They do amazing digital content. That guy is a huge legend. He's the one who brought Osborne to the world. And that's for me, my biggest hope for this podcast is what, bro? I love to have faces put to these amazing works that we see and we hear about. Because behind every photographer there's a few people who held their hands, and supported them and gave them money and exposure, because as well exposure is important.
Kabisa.
And I think that's one of the things we'll be demystifying. Is exposure invalid? And can you eat exposure, bro? Can you eat exposure? You can't eat exposure, but one thing is, relationships are everything. As a creative, creating those relationships, they're important. So,
and that's what puts food on the table.
That's what puts food on the table. Relationships. I know, like, if I get stuck, my brother Koech, is a call away, and I can, call him up, because we have a relationship, and you can come through. And in another way, I can serve you. So, I'm excited. Elated, and I'm looking forward to hear people's feedback. I'm really looking forward to hear people's feedback. Hapa tunacheza 4,000 watch hours in one video. Hallelujah. If you believe this, share the video.
Kabisa. Make sure you share.
Yeah, man. And if you enjoy the content, like, and join us on the journey. Join us on the journey. This will be a movement.
You can also comment, like if you are creative, you can also comment tell us what you would want us to tackle in the future. What challenges you're facing. Whose journey would you want to hear.
Kabisa. And as well, for creatives, it's usually a topic that not many people tackle, but we hopefully will be tackling even in the next episode. Tutakuwa tunafungua servers, zile servers, international servers za creatives. I think we'll be taking an in-depth analysis of creators. We'll be checking out how they're doing through Social Blade. And you know, the thing about Social Blade I heard from other creatives is even the money that's usually on Social Blade that creatives are making, it's usually
even
kidogo. It's usually less than what they're making for most times. So hopefully once we start opening those servers, we can start estimating how much money, you know, and the growth, especially in terms of the audiences, because when it comes to content creation, the audience, they're everything. They're the people who make it possible. I think even YouTube values the audience more than the creator to a certain degree, because they push the content that the audience enjoy. So you guys are important. We value you. We appreciate you. We are grateful for your time. Getting to listen for about 50 plus minutes to our voices, and even for those who've bared with our faces. Thank you so much. We hope that we can be as consistent as possible.
Totally.
I want you to make a promise.
Ninaapa ya kwamba
utakuwa consistent. Let me tell you, this guy tunafai kumzoa in inconsistency kwa sababu if you follow him on his YouTube channel, you know.
But growth is there.
But yeah, man, we hope to be as consistent as possible.
Totally.
We hope to make amazing content.
Kabisa.
We hope that manze itakuwa just the podcast will be one of the avenues we get to churn out content. Hopefully even vlogs. We travel a lot. Recently we went to Garissa, bro. You sent us to Garissa. Alitutuma Garissa kazi. You know, and I would love for people to see what we do and how we interact with the clients and the people there in those jobs.
And even what happens in such challenging environments, and shooting from morning till evening into the night. And also Garissa, interacting with a very different culture.
Very different. You know, and it was amazing. Let me tell you, as a Christian, we were hanging out with Muslims, and it was the best. I will say that was one of the best jobs I've ever done.
Wow.
Those people were amazing. They were kind. Then it was Ramadan. Tukafunga na tukafungua na wow. Tulifungua ile system. Mashakura tulidishi bana. Hata kuambia calling the food mashakura is an injustice, bro. Ile food ni tamu. The food is amazing. And I'm grateful for that opportunity. And I hope we can get to bring other creatives onto that journey. And especially for people who are listening who are older and they have young people, because everyone right now has a YouTube friend. Everyone. I don't think there's anyone who lives, especially in Nairobi, who doesn't have a friend who's a TikToker, YouTuber, aspiring influencer. Share this with them. We'll be really dissecting, because I feel we've done a lot of research in our conversations. We talk about these people in depth, and hopefully we can bring people into our conversations for the industry. And that's it, guys. Like the video. You can find us on Spotify.
Yes, on Spotify,
Google Podcast, and everywhere you consume your audio podcast will be there.
And even on YouTube. If you are listening to this, we are on YouTube. And our handsome faces will make you smile. But what do we say? I've enjoyed this, bro. I've enjoyed this too.
Yes. And we finish with a dance.
Hey,
let me tell you guys, we'll have better audio. Koech will produce better audio for us. For now, we shall sign out with this one. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It's been real.
The
The only way
is up.
Podcast. Cheers.
Cheers.